Hello my Foonatics, it is Fufu here. Today I am bringing you another Wi-Fi battle. This one is a team that I've tried to adapt to the new meta. It's starring a special Pokemon that I really enjoy using. It's a bit gimmicky, but it does work, and that is Focus Punch Charizard. Unfortunately in this battle, the gimmick doesn't work, but it was a great battle, so I wanted to show you it anyway, and I'm definitely going to use this team a bit more to try and get the things working. I think that it's going to be specifically really good in this meta because Chanseys are everywhere because they're one of the only switch-ins to Greninja, so they're really prevalent, and I might adapt this team as well, because if I can use Charizard and Greninja, so take out the Chanseys with Charizard with Focus Punch, and then bring in the Greninjas and do some work, that would be really good. But at the moment this is just an adaptation to the previous team that I used, and I'll take you through it really quick because I think that it's quite interesting. So I've got the Focus Punch Charizard. It's Charizard Y, so you can catch the big pink blobs that think that they can take the special hits, and yeah, it's really cool. With this, I wanted like some of the backup that I need. I need a good way of getting rid of rocks. I think that Tentacool is one of the best ways. It also provides me a switch in on Greninjas, which, as I say, are everywhere. And it takes pretty much any special hit. I went specially defensive because it's so bulky on the special side. And also what I like is it gets knockoff, so you can hit any ghosts that think that they can try and stop your spin. We've got a Rotom as well. Rotom is so good at the moment, and I wanted him, really wanted him. And that's quite a nice defensive core, except that I can't take on fighting types very well. Tentacool, it is, and also, I don't know, I just felt like Mega-Charizard could be a problem, things like that, so I went with a Lando. I wanted the Intimidate. This is actually a defensive Lando as well. I needed rocks for this team because rock support is very good, so it's just a standard defensive one, not Earth Plate or anything like that. I wanted a Scarfer, so we went with the Latios because it's kind of a surprise Scarfer. People will look at my team and probably think Life Orb Latios maybe, or something, and maybe Scarf Lando, so I like that about it, and it hits the things that I want it to hit. It's powerful, so that's good. And finally, we went with some power and Scizor. Scizor has quite good synergy with the team, and my team is very not weak to fire, so I thought that it would be good to put on, and takes on a lot of the hits that the rest of my team can't. And I wanted some priority, and it's powerful, and it's good for this type of team. Also, kind of a theme, 2 U-turners and a Volt Switcher, so trying to get that initiative is always good. I found this battle on the Showdown Wi-Fi room, where you can find battles there. This guy has brought a really interesting team that looks quite hyper offense, except he's got Suicune, so I don't really know how it functions, but it looks quite cool. I'm guessing he's going to lead with a Smeargle. I don't actually have anything to take the sleep, which is not good, but I was hoping that maybe Scizor could hit it down and then something else could revenge it, because Scizor's Bullet Punch doesn't look that powerful against his team, but we can go into the battle and see what happens. So yeah, as I say, gonna lead with the Scizor and try and take the Smeargle down to the Sash. He doesn't have a ghost type, so it doesn't really matter if he gets a Sticky Web or a Rock Up at the beginning, because Tentacool can easily spin that away at some point. So I'm gonna go straight for the Bullet Punch, and it turns out that this Smeargle does not have the Sash, so that was really good. I was so happy when I saw that Smeargle just go straight down. It might have been a Geomancy set. I don't know what item it did have, but that worked out very nicely for me. But now that Victini comes in, I do have a switch in the form of defensive Rotom-w, but you go straight for the Bolt Strike, and look at that freaking damage. That's way too much damage. I do not like that one bit. So I'm going to switch out here. He's obviously banded, like unbelievably obviously banded, so I need to get out of there and go into my Lando. But I don't really know what switch he was predicting right now, because I'm just going to go into my Landorus. Maybe into my Latios to take the Bolt Strike, but Landorus is far easier switch for me. So he's going to switch out the Jirachi, fearing that I might be an offensive Lando. I am defensive, so that's fine. I can get my rocks up now, which is really helpful. I need those rocks because he has the Thundurus, he's got the Victini, both big threats that could be really fast and hard to take down, so all this chip will definitely help. So I'm going to go into my Bluebird. I want to get into my Scizor, but I want to get into it quite freely. And if he went for a Thunderbolt or a Hidden Power Ice there, it's okay because he's likely just to go for another one of those things. He wasn't going to go for a T-Wave on a Rotom, so I felt quite safe going into the Latios and then switching into my Scizor on either a Hidden Power Ice or a Thunder Wave. So that's what happens, and I can get into my Scizor very nicely, and I'm just going to go for a U-turn right now, thinking that he's probably not going to stay in, maybe predicting a knockoff or something like that. He goes into a Suicune. That is likely a defensive wall, and I'm able to get the initiative on this, which is really great for me, and it actually will allow me to go into my Charizard, and I love my Charizard. I love when my Charizard can come in freely. It's so great. That U-turn does so much damage though, and I was a bit confused because I don't think that defensive Suicune should take that much from a... It is a banded Scizor with U-turn, so I suppose that's why it's so powerful, but it did kind of shock me a little bit. So now I'm in with my Charizard, and I don't really want to go for Solar Beam because this is the only thing that Solar Beam hits on his team. So I kind of just wanted to go straight for the Fire Blast because I was pretty sure it would do a lot of damage. If this is defensive and not especially defensive, then I would thought that this would do a lot of damage. Plus, he can't really do too much to me because Scald isn't going to, in the sun, it's not going to do too much, and I've got big special defense. And actually, the Fire Blast just takes out a Suicune. I was so happy when that happened. Charizard is so powerful. Oh my lord, this thing. I love it because it is an amazing wall breaker. So if I can, I've got two kind of well, Scizor is just so powerful and Charizard is so powerful. Those are the things that I really like on this team. He goes into his Thundurus right now. I know that my Tentacle can take any one hit and it's really not going to be useful against the rest of his team. So I was thinking, if I can get 2 Life Orb hits on this Thundurus, then that will be really good and I can come in and try and revenge with something else. But he actually goes for the Volt Switch, which I didn't really want to see because it means he gets a free switch into Gallade. I was going to try and keep the pressure on so that he didn't get the free switch into Gallade here. And I was worried that he would just go for a Swords Dance. I do still have my Scarf Latios, but it's taken a big hit. And if this guy has Shadow Sneak, which some of them do carry, then that could be a problem. I still have my Lando as well though, so it depends what set he's running. He does go straight for the Shadow Sneak here, which confused me a bit because I thought he'd either go for an SD or a Psychic type move, but he goes for a Shadow Sneak, and then next turn goes for a Close Combat. So because of those plays, it got me thinking he probably does not have Psychic Stab, which was interesting to know, but that also means he's likely to have Ice Punch. So I don't really want to go into my Landorus right now. I'm going to go into my Scizor because he's got the drop defense. It means that I will be able to do big damage, probably take him out with a Bullet Punch, which I'm going to go for now. I can't mess around with threats. He's just going to the Jirachi, which was the best play for him. Jirachi is so annoying, but I do have a nice switch into the form of my Lando. And the way that he switched out earlier, actually that doesn't tell me too much because he could just be offensive, but no, yeah, could just be offensive and not Scarf, but don't really know what he is at this stage. So I'm going to get the Intimidate off and see what he wants to go for. He actually goes for the Thunder Wave, so I'm glad that I can dodge that with my Landorus, and because of the Intimidate, he can't really go for the Iron Head, so he's going for the Ice Punch, which he does have. That does a lot of damage, but I can tank it because I'm a freaking Landorus. And I can knock off the Expert Belt, which means that after lefties, I'm easily going to be able to live the next Ice Punch. And because I'm going for knockoff, he doesn't really want to switch anything in on that. So that's pretty good for me. The issue is my Landorus has been taken down quite severely, so it's not going to be too useful against the rest of his things. Losing my Ground type immunity to the Electric type attacks from Thundurus could be an issue, but not really because it had Hidden Power Ice anyway, so this guy wouldn't have been that useful. And also, this guy couldn't do too much against Gallade because I'm pretty sure it's carrying Ice Punch, seeing as though he went for Shadow Sneak and CC on my Tentacle when he could have just taken it out. Here, he goes for the Shadow Sneak. Now, I wasn't really sure why, because Ice Punch would have taken me out. It's not like he was predicting a switch or anything like that. He might have thought if I could have switched into my Rotom on the Ice Punch. That's the only thing that I could think, and Shadow Sneak would do a little bit more damage, but if he was thinking that, he would have gone straight for the Close Combat. So I wasn't really sure why he went for that one. He could have just gone straight for the Ice Punch, and that would have hit everything on my team. Oh, it wouldn't have hit Scizor, I suppose. But But again, if he was predicting a switch, he should have done CC. Maybe it was just a halfway house plays. Halfway house plays are never very good. But I can go into my Sizzle right now and go for a Bullet Punch because I have taken it down. That Earthquake damage was really quite important because it means that I do have an easy revenge with my Sizzle. Otherwise, I may have had to sack something else with that to try and get a close combat defense drop. But the Gallade goes down. That was the biggest threat to my team, really. Victini, I outspeed with certain things. I know that it is banded, not scarf, so that's okay. And the Thunderous I'll have to handle probably with Sizzle with a Bullet Punch because it's down to a point where Life Orb and Rocks is going to take it really far down. So he goes for the V-Create, does a huge amount of damage to my Rotom-Wash. We've already established this is banded though, so I was sacking my Rotom at this point. I didn't think that it would be able to survive, which is fine. And right now, I'm going to go for the Volt Switch because I thought that I wouldn't outspeed. That was a bad play. I should have just gone straight for a Hydro because... Well, if you had wanted to switch out, I didn't really want to be on my Rotom, but I probably would have killed with Volt Switch anyway. But yeah, I should have just gone straight for Hydro because I didn't want to sack this. This is definitely not a sack that I wanted to do. If he had switched out here on the next turn, then he would have been able to outspeed my Charizard, and that was the only thing that would outspeed this Victini otherwise. But I'm going to bring in my Charizard right now. If he does switch out, he could bring his Victini again. But it would be on very low health, so Bullet Punch would kill it. So his best play now is really to stay in and take the Fire Blast. But I just made a bit of a rubbishy play there. The Fire Blast looks so friggin' beautiful and I love it, and Charizard is so powerful and it doesn't even care, and it was a critical hit in the sun with 2 special defense drops, so that was kind of overkill. Charizard, the monster. I don't want my Charizard to faint because I love him too much, and so I'm going to switch into my Rotom-Wash right here to just die to a Thunderbolt. The Thunderous is going to take the Life Orb damage, and that will be, well, then I have to go into Sizzle and hope that he doesn't, like, Thunder Wave me and paralyze me while he kills me with the Thunderbolt. That would be the worst case scenario, because if that happens, then he's probably going to win. I'm not sure if one Thunderbolt would kill this Sizzle from that range, but it may well do, because Thunderous is very, very, very powerful. But he doesn't even try that. He just lets me kill him with Bullet Punch without going for the Thunder Wave. So that was really great for me, and that will be a 2-0 win, which was a really, really intense battle. It wasn't very long, but because he had Gallade and banded Victini and like Thunderous and stuff, it was very, very powerful offensive presence there that I was pretty spooked by. But I managed to handle it. Charizard proving his power by taking down a Suicune from like half health with a resisted hit. Insane. And yeah, that was a good battle. If he had a sashed Smeargle, that might have been different. But maybe he was trying Geomancy tactics, trying to spore my Scizor and then get a Geomancy pass off to... I don't even know. He didn't really have any special attackers. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. But anyways, thank you very much for the battle, Mike. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm going to try and bring you some more Wi-Fi battles with this Charizard, because I do want to smack some pink blobs up with my fists. Other than that, I've been foofootoo, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!